What if the time you clip into your pedals matters just as much as how hard you ride? Two cyclists, same bike, same route, same calories burned. One rides at 6 a.m. before breakfast. The other rides at 6 p.m. after a full day of work and food. 6 months later, their bodies look completely different. Same effort, different results. Today we're breaking down the real science behind morning versus evening cycling for fat loss. The hormones, the metabolism, and the energy patterns nobody talks about. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which window fits your body and your life. Stick around because the mid-video CTA has a simple trick that could change your next ride. Fat loss on a bike isn't just about burning calories. It's about when your body is primed to burn them, how your hormones respond to stress and movement, and how your energy levels hold up over a full day. Morning riders swear by fasted cycling and that clear-headed sunrise feeling. Evening riders swear by stronger legs, better performance, and a workout that melts away the day's stress. Both camps have science behind them. Neither camp is fully right or fully wrong. In this video, we'll compare morning and evening cycling across 4 categories: metabolism, hormones, daily energy, and real-life consistency. We'll keep it evidence-based, practical, and honest about the trade-offs. And by the end, you'll be able to answer the question for yourself instead of just following whatever influencer you saw last week. Let's start with metabolism, because this is where most of the morning cycling hype comes from. When you ride first thing in the morning, especially before eating, your body has spent the last 8 or so hours in a fasted state. Glycogen stores in the liver are lower, and your body tends to shift toward using stored fat as fuel more readily during low to moderate intensity efforts. This is why fasted morning rides are popular in fat loss communities. The body leans on fat oxidation instead of just burning off your last meal. But here's the nuance almost nobody mentions. Total fat loss over weeks and months depends far more on your overall calorie balance than on which fuel source you're burning during a single ride. Burning slightly more fat during the ride itself doesn't automatically mean more fat lost from your body over time, because your metabolism adjusts across the full 24-hour period, not just during exercise. Evening cycling has its own metabolic advantage. Performance, body temperature, muscle flexibility, and lung function tend to peak in the late afternoon and early evening. That means you can often push harder, hold a higher wattage, and burn more total calories in an evening ride compared to a sluggish morning effort. More total output can mean a bigger calorie deficit for the day, even if the fuel source during the ride itself is different. So which wins for metabolism? If your priority is fat oxidation during the workout, mornings edge ahead. If your priority is total calorie burn and workout intensity, evenings often edge ahead. It's a genuine trade-off, not a clear winner. Now let's talk hormones, because this is where things get really interesting. Cortisol, your primary stress hormone, naturally peaks in the early morning as part of your body's wake-up process. Riding hard on top of that natural cortisol spike can, in some people, add extra stress load, especially if the ride is intense and the person isn't eating beforehand. For some riders, this is totally fine. For others, especially those already dealing with high stress or poor sleep, it can leave them feeling wired, hungry, and irritable for the rest of the day. Evening rides tend to happen when cortisol is naturally lower, and testosterone and growth hormone patterns are more favorable for muscle recovery and building lean mass. More lean muscle mass over time supports a higher resting metabolic rate, which helps with long-term fat loss. Evening exercise has also been associated with improved insulin sensitivity in some research, meaning your body may handle carbohydrates more efficiently after a day of eating, which can support better blood sugar control and fat storage regulation. On the flip side, morning riders often report better appetite control throughout the day. A morning ride can blunt hunger hormones like ghrelin for several hours, which naturally reduces snacking and mindless eating later on. That appetite-suppressing effect is a real and useful tool for fat loss, even if the direct calorie-burning advantage is smaller than people assume. Neither hormonal profile is universally superior. It genuinely depends on your stress levels, your sleep quality, and how your individual body responds. Quick pause. If you're finding this breakdown useful, Hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell, because next week we're covering the exact fueling strategy for fasted morning rides, so you don't bonk halfway through. Also, drop a comment right now. Are you a morning rider or an evening rider? I read every comment, and I want to see which camp wins. Now let's get into daily energy levels, because this might be the deciding factor for most of you. Here's the honest truth. The best fat loss cycling schedule is the one you can actually sustain. Energy levels play a massive role in that. Morning riders often report a boost in alertness and mood that carries through the entire day. Exercise increases blood flow and releases endorphins, and getting it done before the day's obligations pile up means nothing gets in the way. There's also a psychological win. Starting your day with a completed workout builds momentum and discipline that spills into other healthy choices, like better food decisions at lunch. However, morning riding also comes with real energy trade-offs. Your body temperature is naturally lower first thing in the morning, joints are stiffer, and reaction time is slower. This raises the risk of a lower quality, higher injury risk workout unless you warm up properly. Some riders also simply feel depleted, especially if sleep was short or if they didn't eat enough the night before. Evening cycling, by contrast, often benefits from a full day of food intake, better hydration, and a body that's fully warmed up from daily activity. Reaction times are sharper, strength output is higher, and many riders report their best power numbers happen in the early evening. The trade-off is obvious, too. After a long workday, motivation can tank. It's far easier to skip a ride when you're tired and the couch is calling. Evening rides can also interfere with sleep for some people. If the ride is too intense, too close to bedtime, and poor sleep is directly linked to worse fat loss outcomes and increased hunger the next day. This might be the single most important section in this whole video, because here's a fact backed by basic behavior science. The workout you actually do consistently beats the theoretically perfect workout you skip. Fat loss is a long game. It's built on weeks and months of consistent movement, not on squeezing out an extra 5% of fat oxidation during one ride. Ask yourself honestly, are you a naturally early riser who feels good moving before the sun's fully up? Or are you someone whose energy builds throughout the day and peaks in the afternoon? Do you have a job or family schedule that makes early mornings the only realistic window? Or does your schedule only free up in the evening? Morning cycling tends to work best for people with unpredictable evening schedules, family obligations after work, or those who simply feel mentally sharper training before the day gets noisy. Evening cycling tends to work best for people who aren't naturally morning people, who want maximum performance and power output, or who use cycling as a stress relief tool to decompress after work. There's also a hybrid approach worth mentioning. Some riders rotate schedules based on the day, riding fasted in the morning on lower intensity days, and saving high-intensity interval sessions for the evening when their body is primed for peak output. This blended approach lets you capture some of the fat oxidation benefits of morning riding and the performance benefits of evening riding. So, after all that, what does the evidence actually point to? For pure fat loss, the timing of your ride matters far less than three bigger factors: your total weekly calorie balance, the consistency of your training, and your sleep quality. Morning cycling can support appetite control and consistency for early risers. Evening cycling can support higher performance output and better recovery hormone patterns for night owls. Both can lead to meaningful fat loss when paired with proper nutrition and adequate rest. The real answer isn't morning or evening, it's whichever window you'll show up for, week after week, without burning out or dreading the ride. That consistency, more than any hormone or metabolic quirk, is what actually transforms your body over time. If this video helped you figure out your ideal cycling window, do three things right now. First, subscribe so you don't miss next week's video on fueling strategies for both morning and evening rides. Second, hit like if you learned something new today. And third, comment below with your choice, team morning or team evening, and tell me why. I read every single comment, and your answer might just convince someone else watching to try your approach. Thanks for riding along with me today. I'll see you in the next one.